Hello friends, today's card is called the Close to My Heart Flower Market Daisy card. It is a fun card to make using an image from the Flower Market cartridge of simply the daisy along with 3 colors of cardstock. The card is made with a 5 by 5, a 5.5 by 5.5 card base in colonial white. I also use colonial white for the 9 squares. I used saddle brown for the 9 squares, and I used lemon for the 18 cuts of daisy, and you're going to have 8 daisies and then 1 message on one of the squares of the white. I also used some embellishments, and I also used the short and sweet stamp set, and I'm using the XOXO for the message on the 1 square. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make the card. First thing I did is I made a card base that's 5.5 by 5.5, which makes it 5.5 by 11. I then cut 9 squares of saddle cardstock, and they're 1.5 inches square. I cut this colonial white cardstock, and they're 1.25 inches. So, and then I cut the images. I cut 18 daisies from the yellow cardstock. I used, you're going to use one of them as a flat, then you're going to combine it with the one that I curved. So you're going to use 2 daisies for each, and they go on the cardstock like that, along with an embellishment in the center. So first of all, let me show you how I made these, curved these daisies. Very simply, all you do is you take your cardstock, your daisy all of these daisies were cut at 1 inch, and you wet them to break up the fibers a little bit. And then I used a 2mm stylus, you can see here, and I just stroked each petal a little bit to pull it up, to pull it up, to pull it up, so that you get these 8. So you have 8 of these that are pulled up, and then you have 8 which are flat. So the next thing you're going to do is I took a ruler and I measured a 1/4 inch in from the side, a 1/4 inch from the top, a 1/4 inch from the other side, a 1/4 inch from the bottom, and I drew some lines. My purpose in doing that is so that when I adhere these 9 squares, I get the same, basically the same lines in the center, and they look more even. And so you put your 9 squares on, and then you put your 9 squares of white on. So let me get started and attach the 9 squares of brown, and then we'll take the next step. So the next thing I'm going to do, I've already attached the 9 saddle brown squares. I'm going to attach these colonial white squares, and what I've decided to do is I'm popping them up with a low pop-up just to give them some extra dimension. So all I'm going to do is take and put 2 pop-ups. As I say, these are not the real high ones, they're lower, and they give it just enough dimension to make the card have a little bit more pizzazz. So I'm going to attach all 8 of these, all except the center one, which I'm going to stamp before I attach it. Okay, so now the next step you do is you attach the curled flower daisy on top of the flat daisy, so you have your 2 pieces. And in Close to My Heart's Flower Market cartridge, this image has another component to it, an orange scallop circle that you put in the middle for decoration. But I like to do something a little different. So I didn't cut out those, but you certainly can to put that in the center. I have these sparkly, spangly things that are green, that are pale. I got these at Walmart in a packet of a spangle mix, and it was a couple of bucks. I got it a couple of years ago, and there's like 500 pieces in there of all different these cuts. And I liked this color, and then I put a sparkle assortment from Close to My Heart in the center to give it some bling. So I didn't use the orange scallop circle that came with the image. I used these spangles, and then I used Close to My Heart's sparkles. And let me put those in, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so now I've got all 8 of the flowers, the daisies, attached, and I'm going to stamp the Colonial White piece with the Make-A-Wish stamp. I was going to use the XOXO Hugs and Kisses one, but it's a little small, so I'm going to do the one that says Make-A-Wish. Okay, so now my card is complete. It's I have the Make-A-Wish stamp on it. I have 8 daisies. I thought it came out really pretty. I like the daisies better with my little glitzy things rather than an orange circle. And it was an easy card to make, and I had a lot of fun making it. I hope it gave you some inspiration. I hope you'll check out my website, margaritasmadness.com. I hope you'll come back often, and thank you very much for watching my video.